Is it important that we have a 9/11 style commission to definitively lay down in black and white the facts of what happened around January 6th and the 2020 election?
It's incredibly important, I think, for at least a couple of reasons. Number one, we should know now much more about just why law enforcement performed so badly. We need to know as much as we can about the connections between the actions of people we know committed awful crimes and the people who are responsible for protecting the law in the United States. But maybe more important is history. These kinds of things, attempted coups, attempted putsches, violent attempts to end democracy, happen in history, unfortunately, all the time. What's rare is trying to come to terms with them. And in order to come to terms with them, you have to have some kind of a commission which goes beyond the headlines, beyond the immediate demands of the moment, and sets down something for the record, something that judges and citizens can look to in the future to prevent things like this. There's a reason why you have to have truth before reconciliation. Without truth, you can't really have a conversation about reconciliation.
How much does that coming to terms that you're describing have to map onto personal accountability for the leader who incited and caused this and in whose name it was committed? I think a lot of people sort of despaired at the lack of conviction in the Senate, even it seemed a sort of preordained fate, because the sense that without personal accountability for the president, something we've been talking about all hour tonight, that maybe that sort of reconciliation can never come.
I think that's absolutely right. I mean, there's a major theme of your whole program is the rule of law. And the rule of law only makes sense if every person, the executive branch, any branch of government, is treated equally to all others, at least in principle. And that means that we can't have this kind of clan system where we decide that someone is immune from the rule of law just because he is or was the ruler. In this particular case, I think it's especially important because we depend on this distinction between law and the lack of law. And this particular man has spent his entire career in politics trying to blur and indeed to overcome that distinction, to push law out of our system. So if you want to have a future as a democracy, this is really an opportunity that we can't miss.
Is there a concern with the incoming administration that if they decide that federal charges, for example, are warranted against the outgoing president, the former president, for what happened on January 6th, that it will be seen as retributive rather than righteous justice?
This is one reason why there should be a commission, and that commission should have all kinds of expertise. It should have forensics experts. It should have political scientists who work on race. It should have historians who work on the history of coups. The document that's produced, this blue ribbon document that's produced, should be the kind of thing that anybody who reads it will think, aha, this is not political. This is about history. This is about the law. This is about forensics. This provides a basis for a conversation and maybe a basis for a prosecution. This is precisely the reason why an investigation, why a basic field of facts that we can share is so crucial going forward.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.